Welcome to the Texas Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to your presenters at any time. You don't have to wait for the specific institution that your question's for. Go ahead and use that Q&A function at any time, and all of our presenters will be keeping an eye out. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many different sessions happening today and tomorrow, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions and get the most out of this opportunity. Of course, this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/pro. Now, for the most important part, I'd like to turn it over to our presenters. And we are going to start today with Alaska Pacific University.
Hi everyone, we will get started. Hopefully we've got to hopefully see presentation. Whoops. All right. So my name is Amy. I'm with the Alaska Pacific University here in Anchorage, Alaska. So thanks for joining us today. I'm going to share a little bit about our institution, and feel free as we go along to put any questions in the chat, and I'll be happy to get to them a little bit later. So a little snapshot about our institution. So we are a small public or private liberal arts and sciences school, like I said, located here in Anchorage, Alaska. And we have about 500 students total. So that's undergraduate students all the way up to our master's and doctorate programs. We do have that small campus tight-knit community. So, with that, we have about a 7-to-1 student faculty ratio. And again, that really allows us to focus on getting students out into the field, out into the environment, into Anchorage, across Alaska, and outside. And we do have 3 on-campus housing options where students can live on campus here or within the Anchorage area. We do have a majority of our students are from Alaska, but we have over 31 different states and countries represented, and we are an Alaska Native American Indian serving institution. One of the things we'll hit on in a little bit is financial aid, which is super important in deciding where you might want to go to school. So about 93% of our students utilize financial scholarships to attend. So like I said, we're located in beautiful Alaska. So one of my counterparts here also today is from the University of Alaska Anchorage. So we're both located right here in Anchorage, kind of right next door. So a little bit different feel of campuses. So you see we're right next to the mountains and right next to the ocean. Amazing wildlife and views. You'll see it's very common to see moose wandering around campus. So maybe a little bit different feel from what you're used to. And everything, even though Anchorage is the largest city in Alaska, everything is pretty compact, and it doesn't take too long to get around. So our version of traffic jam tends to usually be the moose and the wildlife or tourist season in the summer. So it's about 10 minutes to downtown. We have amazing events and different things going on all throughout the year. One we just kicked off, you might have heard of before, the Iditarod sled dog race, and that happens downtown, and we just kicked that off yesterday. And so one thing that's really cool is we have a huge trail system on campus. So sometimes our outdoor rec program will go out and bring the barbecue out onto the trail and do breakfast burritos and watch the dogs come right by and get to see the different mushers without even leaving campus. So for our academics, like I said, we are place-based experiential learning. So again, it's all about getting students out into the classroom, whether that's internships, if it's your marine biology diving class, getting connected to the Alaska Sea Life Center and doing aquarium diving with them, or maybe it's working in our counseling psychology department and it's working with the Covenant House, working with homeless youth here in town. And so it's a very student and community focus. This is a quick snapshot of some of the different programs that we offer. If you are want to go ahead and take a picture, you're more than welcome to, but this offers some of our different majors and our concentrations and minors that we offer. Again, everything from nursing, business, psychology, marine environmental sciences, outdoor studies, a little bit of everything. So again, we definitely want you to find a program that's a good fit for you, a major that you might be interested in. But one of the key things is getting connected on campus. So here you'll see one of our local resident Moose checking out our farmers market and treating himself to a lunch. We have farmers markets on campus. We have actually a farm out in Palmer. So students in our sustainability studies programs or things like that can work on the farm, as well as kind of get their experience more in the rural urban setting in Anchorage. We have meal plan options for students. The price for our housing, which again, I can give you additional information about, includes kind of the full meal plan and housing, so it's all combined together. They do a lot of on and off-campus events like kayak polo in our saltwater pool on campus, or paddleboard yoga. We have a rock wall weight room and pool, and lots of ways for students to get involved. So if you're interested in potentially putting in an application, so our application is available online. All you need is your official transcripts, high school transcripts or college if you're already started taking some dual enrollment classes. We are test optional, so there's no need for test scores. They're not required for admissions, and that's not just with the COVID and recent changes. We've been test optional for a while. And then if you attend one of our online events for open house, online open houses, you can also get your admissions application fee waived. And then, like I mentioned, we have lots of different financial and scholarships available for students. Our tuition is a little over $20,000 for the year for 12 to 18 credits per semester. There's no difference if you take 12 all the way up to 18. Our merit scholarships start at a 2.75 GPA and go all the way up from $1,500 up to $7,000 for the year. Just for being out of state, you get $2,000. And then we have a lot of what we call donor funded scholarships, or our Alaska Promise grant, which is for students who are eligible for the FAFSA. They get Pell Grant through the FAFSA. They get significantly reduced tuition. If they have a full Pell Grant, they could have zero tuition.
Okay,
so,
thank you
that was
so much.
Quick, a lot of information, but questions you have in the chat.
Thank you so much, Alaska Pacific University. We appreciate you being here. We're going to move now to DigiPen Institution of Technology. Go ahead and take it away.
Great, thank you. Let me make sure that my sound is on. And so I will start, and if the sound is not on, if you could just give me a nod, then I will make sure that it's accurate. Thank you. So my name is Amanda. I'm with DigiPen Institute of Technology. We are, what is DigiPen? It's a different name, different university. We were founded in 1988. We are a four-year private college. We specialize in the areas of computer science, digital art and animation, game design and development, music and sound design as well. We are located actually in Redmond, Washington, which is about 16 miles east of Seattle, which is a really great, fun place. I actually live in Houston, so I'm in Texas. This area, Seattle, Washington area is just beautiful, amazing. You will really enjoy it. Lots of great fun things to do there. So I think that we have a little bit further information about that here shortly. So one thing that you might not know, Redmond, Washington is a huge game development hub. We, at the end of the day, are a video game design development school. So we teach students how to make video games. These are just a few of the game development companies that our students have gone to work for and that we work with throughout their college experience and that as well. So our student population, we currently have 1,174 students, but we typically fluctuate between 1,200 and about 1,100. So we're right on par right now. And we actually have about 30% of those that are out of the state of Washington. So that's great. We do have a large international population as well. So we're pretty well-rounded there. A couple of things, just DigiPen by the number. We are the first school to offer a video game programming degree. We have 10 degree programs, 8 at the undergraduate level and 2 graduate programs. Our average class size is 20 per professor, so that's really great. Small, so you do get a lot of extra attention with your professors and then also extra time with your peers through the class time. We have, this number is actually to 1,600 of our graduates are credited on commercial video games to date. So that's really great. It means that the students that come to our school, they're actually creating, doing really wonderful things in the interactive media technology world. We are consistently ranked among the top 5 of video game design schools, and this has been a consistent factor for us over the last 10 years. So what makes us unique? We believe that it's our academic approach. You will spend about half of your time as you would with a typical institution where you are in classroom environment doing your lecture classes, your homework, your independent studies. But the other about half of your time will be on project teams. And so what this does is it gives an opportunity for the students to understand what the industry is really like. So we literally simulate the industry. So starting your sophomore year, you join a game team. And so you have an artist, you have a computer scientist, you have someone that's doing the game design from a psychology standpoint, and all of you together, you design a game. So by the time our students graduate, they will have anywhere from about 4 to 6, sometimes 7 or 8 professionally developed games on their resume. So you're automatically a couple of years ahead of your competition in the gaming world. Here are the different degree programs that we offer. So for computer science, we have Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Machine Learning, and then of course a Master's of Computer Science. For game design and development degrees, we have a Bachelor of Arts in Game Design, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Game Design, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Real-Time Interactive Simulation, and then we move to our Bachelor of Arts degrees. So digital art and animation, we have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Digital Art and Animation, and we also have a Master's in Fine Arts in Digital Animation. And then of course we have a Bachelor of Arts in Music and Sound Design and Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Digital Audio. So you have the programming of the game, you have the design, the look, the feel, the emotion of the game. So a little bit different sides of that, but we serve both parties in that. So preparing to apply to DigiPen if you're interested in Bachelor of Science programs, we would encourage you to focus on your math, science, and problem-solving skills. Pre-calculus is required for all degrees except for Bachelor of Computer Science and Game Design. Pre-calculus is recommended, but okay, so we'll move quickly. Student life, we do not have your typical fraternities, sororities, sports teams, but we do have a very active student life, which we can talk about at a later time. And just a couple of really great things for you to know. Here are some upcoming events that we have that will give you even a deeper dive into who we are and help you determine if you might be interested. I will say if you have any desire in interactive technology, interactive media and technology, we are an exceptional option and encourage you to get in touch and see what we can offer you. Here's my contact information, and look forward to working with you, hearing with you in the future. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, DigiPen Institution of Technology. This time flies by when we have our wonderful institutions sharing so much great information with us. We're now going to go on to Seattle University.
Great, thank you so much. I hope everyone can see the slide. My name is Doreen, and I am one of the admissions counselors at Seattle University. You've already learned a lot of really fun stuff different colleges and universities have to offer. And I think the important thing to know that all of these are kind of based on the location, right? So what that means for SU, we are considered a small to medium-sized Catholic Jesuit institution, and we have a very urban campus. So we're right in the city of Seattle. We're about a 20-minute walk to downtown, about a 30-minute drive to the mountains, depending on traffic, of course. We are a Catholic Jesuit institutions, and that means that we are committed to a holistic and personalized education, social justice efforts, and community engagement. Those are three really big and important pieces. You do not have to be religious to attend SU. Actually, about 70% of our students identify as something other than Catholic. So that's fairly interesting, and that kind of shows the welcoming environment that SU and the city of Seattle really is. We do require our students to live on campus for the first 2 years. And even though we are very centrally located in the city, you still have a very kind of traditional campus experience with your academic buildings being very close together, your residential halls kind of sprinkled throughout that red outline, and then the athletic fields and facilities towards the left-hand side of that picture that you can see. And yeah, like I mentioned, we require our students to live on campus for the first 2 years, so housing is guaranteed for that time. And then after that, most of our students tend to stay really close to a lot of the more residential neighborhoods that you can see kind of at the bottom of that picture. In terms of the academics, we have about 63 majors currently, and all of them are direct entry. And during your time at SU, you never have to choose between your academic work and the professional development opportunities that await you. We want you to build your resume the moment you step on campus, and that looks different for everyone, right? But overall, a lot of the programs that we offer have internships built into them. You also have service learning opportunities during which you earn college credit, but you're also out in the field doing the work, again, building your resume. So those are just a couple of things that we like to encourage our students to do and kind of think about in terms of your next steps. A couple of our popular majors are nursing, biology, computer science, really big, criminal justice, and then the pre-major studies. That is our undeclared major. So during that time, you actually have the opportunity to take classes within our U-Core curriculum. Those are our kind of general education classes, but they're very much specifically designed for the U-Core. For the first 2 years, if you are undeclared, you're just exploring within the U-Core, and then you are asked to declare a major, and about 93% that start off as undeclared. Once they declare a major, they don't change it back because they feel like they have a really good sense of what they're getting into. And you already saw that 100% of our classes are taught by a professor, and in combination with the small classroom sizes of about 18 students, you're really able to establish a close relationship with your professor, because they're going to be a really big resource for you during your time working on your undergraduate degree, but then also thinking about your future career. So making sure that the professors can connect you to internship opportunities, they might conduct research with you, and overall, they're just going to be a really, really big resource to connect you to people within the field that you're interested in. So to quickly sum up, our students want to be in a big city, they want to have an engaged and discussion-based classroom experience, and they're very eager to get involved on or off campus. You're obviously not just going to come to college to spend time in the classroom, even though that's going to be at the forefront of all of this, but you also need to make sure that you're balanced and you have a student life. So I'm going to quickly talk about this. We have about 130 active clubs and organizations on campus. It changes quarter by quarter, so it's really difficult to keep up with that. But about 26 of those include different cultural clubs, and all the clubs are student-led. So that is how students kind of find connections, they make friends, they kind of find their people that they want to be around. And that is also a way for you to outlive any kind of identity that you have that's really important to you. So in terms of campus resources, those are also available, obviously, to all students, and they can make your transition to college a lot easier and kind of help you get involved in the community. So a couple of those include our outreach center. We have a center for community engagement, the career engagement office, and campus ministry. So like I said, all of those resources are available to every single student, and you can utilize them as much or as little as you like to. A little bit about the admissions process. We are on the Common application, so hopefully that makes it a little bit easier for you to apply. We have 2 different deadlines, and both of them are non-binding. We are test optionate and definite, so you do not need test scores to be considered for admission. And the moment you apply, you're considered for merit scholarship. So hopefully that makes it a little bit easier in terms of making sure that the financial piece is in place. And yeah, if there are any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always here to answer any questions. And yeah, thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Seattle University. We're going to head back to Alaska now. We're going to go to the University of Alaska, Anchorage.
Hello, y'all. My name is Fernando. I'm the Assistant Director of Recruitment over at the University of Alaska, Anchorage. One sec, let me present. Let's begin by talking a little bit about our location and also the campus as a whole. You already heard from Alaska Pacific earlier. It's wonderful. We share a city with them as well. And this wonderful city of Anchorage is the largest city in the state of Alaska. We have approximately 300,000 people who live in Anchorage. We like to think of it kind of as a urban wild campus, you might call it, where it's a mix of the urban amenities that you might expect, from a big city, but then also kind of the more wilder, outdoorsy aspects with very easy reach from campus. Like we have over 100 miles of trails that crisscross throughout the entirety of Anchorage, as well as a lot of really accessible outdoor activities for students or even just people who live here. Like I know, for example, right outside my apartment, I can see the mountains just right there. They are super close. Along with that, UAA, to get a bit more specific down to our institution, we have nearly 12,000 students on campus. We offer we offer a lot of different types of degrees. So we have certificates, AAs, bachelor's, master's, doctoral degrees. We offer basically everything under the sun. So you do have a lot of options when it comes to what you're looking to study at UAA. We still maintain a 16:1 student faculty ratio, so you can still expect fairly small class sizes, especially because we have some separate campuses that count underneath our umbrella, you might say, because Alaska doesn't really have totally separate what do you call them, community colleges. And so they kind of fall under the UAA or one of our other campuses umbrellas. So some of those students are technically on a different campus. Along with that, we were recently ranked #1 return on long-term investment among our peer institutions. So our students are very happy with the results that they're seeing after graduation, specifically in getting jobs pretty soon after graduating. On to the next one, our academics and undergraduate research. Here are just some general areas of academic interest, some highlights that I can point out. I know engineering is always a really big highlight that we love to mention. This past year, they had a 96% placement rate within 6 months. So a lot of our students are getting jobs right out of the gate, especially through that engineering program, and really do try to make it a very hands-on learning approach. You can see some of the pictures here. I know on the left, we're very close. Our health sciences and professions are very big on hands-on learning, especially because we have the hospitals literally right across the street from campus. So you have a lot of students who are helping there. I know some of our students even helped with things like COVID research, which we were super psyched that our students were getting involved in those sorts of things. But all of our other programs also have very, very great experiential learning opportunities, especially our natural sciences, since we have such great access to, what again we call it kind of the urban wild setting. Next, a little bit about our student life and athletics. In terms of student clubs and Greek life, we have over 100 student clubs, as well as the opportunity to participate in Greek life, if that's something that you're interested in as well. We have a very active and vibrant student government as well that really gets students' voices heard by the administration. I really love the changes that they propose and the way that they really do enact change within our institution. We also do offer both Division 1 and Division 2 sports. So if you're very interested in athletics, UAA has a very vibrant athletic scene as well, extremely competitive. I know, just to give one example, or maybe I can give 2 examples really quickly, our women's basketball has won their conference for the last 6 straight years. And I know this year, our skiing team has 4 skiers who are actually participating in the World Championships, representing either the US or the respective nations, since some of them are international students at those World Championships. So very highly competitive. Along with that, we do have an internationally ranked debate team. So we also, can compete with our words as well, which I think is pretty awesome. When it comes to cost and affordability, you can kind of see a breakdown here of non-resident tuition, but then also resident tuition. So as you can see, tuition and fees for non-residents, so most people from Texas, would fall under about $21,000 in tuition and fees. There are some scholarships that can help cut that down, but I always ask, first, is there any way that you may qualify for resident tuition? Because we do have a good host of ways that you may qualify for resident tuition, which is only $5,600 a year. So these are like Come Home to Alaska program, where if you have any, like parents, grandparents, any of that kind of lineal descendant, or you are a lineal descendant of anyone who previously lived in Alaska, you would qualify for resident tuition. If you have military affiliation as well, whether veteran, active duty, whether you're a dependent, or in the Reserves or National Guard, about 18% of our student body is actually veterans or active duty or dependents. So we do have quite a large number of our students who are in some way related to that. Or if your parent or the guardian is an alum, or if you are if you have an Alaska 529 college savings plan for 2 years. So you have a few different options there as well. Next, on-campus living, housing options, we have suite-style residence halls, which essentially are like apartments almost. So you can really just have your own room. You just have a shared living space, and they are very close to campus. Then we also have some really great study abroad opportunities, as well as national student exchange, which can help you kind of exchange at a different college throughout the US, which is another really great opportunity. And then finally, I would recommend you definitely check us out, whether through visiting virtually, doing our virtual tour, which takes you all around campus, or going through our visit portal at ua.alaska.edu/visit. So with that, I'll pass it on to our next presenter.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, University of Alaska Anchorage. We are going to head now to Weber State University.
Okay, can you see my screen? Perfect. Thank you so much for passing the baton to me. My name is Gary Duran. I am a senior admissions counselor right here at Weber State University, located in Ogden, Utah, which is northern Utah. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the Utah region, it's located right there relative to some of these larger cities that you may be more familiar with. I do miss Texas. I miss the state of Texas right now. I hope that you are all doing well. You experienced some Utah weather, some cold weather not too long ago. So I hope that you're all doing well. And we hope that you have the opportunity to come up to Utah sometime to check out what we have to offer. Speaking of what we have to offer, we have the great outdoors and we have this amazing downtown city life. Whether you're looking to go to a Utah Jazz game when they're playing the Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs, or Dallas Mavericks, right at the Vivint Smart Home Arena, you can do so. And you can take free transportation down to the arena with your friends to catch that game. We have concerts, we have indoor skydiving, indoor surfing in downtown Ogden. So the vibes in Ogden are real and it's a lot of fun. Also, we do have the great outdoors right behind campus. As you can see on the background behind me, we are a mountain campus with a trail network of over 200 miles. We have an outdoor rec center providing students with all of the recreational materials that you would need to have a good time. We have a robust student life when it comes to clubs and organizations. We have 93. We also have NCAA athletics, and I'm very excited to share more with that with you in just a moment. We also have Army ROTC. So if you're exploring that option, possibly receiving scholarships, we do have that there for you. NCAA Division I sports are taken seriously at Weber State. We are 3-time Big Sky Conference champions in football. The games are phenomenal. They are just lively with energy. And so if you're a big football fan, like I know many Texans are, Weber State, we have one of the best football programs in the nation right now. Last week, we were ranked #1 by Athlon rankings. So we are doing really well when it comes to football. We also are made up of 7 academic colleges. So being a first-generation college student, I didn't quite understand the concept of university and then colleges and how it all works. Somebody once explained it to me like the university is a rooftop and underneath are 7 pillars that hold up that rooftop. Those 7 pillars are the academic colleges. And inside of those colleges at Weber State, we host over 225 programs ranging from certificates, associates, bachelor's, master's, all the way to a doctorate program. As you can see, we have many different offerings. Some of our top programs include the College of Health Professions nursing program, dental hygiene, pre-med with medical laboratory sciences. Pre-law students often do really well by going through some of the College of Arts and Humanities programs, such as philosophy. We also have the AACSB accreditation in the Goddard School of Business and Economics. And we have strong ties to Carnegie Mellon for cybersecurity, if that's an interest of yours. Our out-of-state tuition fees for a full school year is $16,288. Relatively affordable, but still a lot of money. So we want to make sure that you leave with little to no debt. And we do this by first offering you an academic scholarship. We look at an index chart based on your GPA and your standardized test score to find an index score. You plug that into the chart on the left, and that's the corresponding amount of money that you will receive for all 4 years at Weber State University. You just have to maintain a 2.5 GPA and 12 credit hours. So it's a great number that comes off of that initial sticker price. Of course, we encourage you to fill out FAFSA, and we do have other scholarships that will help you bring down the cost as well. Housing options are not required at Weber State. There are many housing units around Weber State University in our college town of Ogden, but we do have phenomenal housing when it comes to Wildcat Village and University Village. And there are bonuses to living in campus housing, such as tuition waivers, living learning communities, and ski mesters. And I encourage you all to schedule a campus tour, whether that's virtual or in person. Go to weber.edu/visit and you can learn more there. And stay connected with us at our social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of the above, at Get Into Weber right there on your screen. And last but not least, I want to share my contact information with all of you. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. I had all the questions when I was a high school student, so please send me an email. I'm happy to answer any that you might have. Thank you all for your time, and I wish you all well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Weber State University. We're going to round out today's panel with one last institution. Right now, we're going to turn it over to Westminster College.
Hi, everyone. Just pulling up the PowerPoint. And please let me know if for some reason you can't hear me. So my name's Brittany. I'm from Westminster College, and we are not very far from our friends at Weber. So hi, Gary. We're both in Utah. We're in Salt Lake City, Utah. We're located in the Sugar House area, which is a cute area in Salt Lake. There's another university that's not very far from us. So we're in a very cute part of town where there's a lot of college students. Westminster College was founded in 1875. We're on 32 acres, and we're 10 minutes from downtown, 30 minutes from 6 mountain resorts. We're a stone throw away from a number of national parks. We have multiple trails around us, and we're within an hour of 10 ski resorts. Sugar House has pharmacies within walking distance, shops, restaurants, coffee shops, grocery stores. It's just a cute little college area, so it's a great place to be. So what is Westminster College? We're a liberal arts school. Liberal arts is an expansive area of study, so it allows you to explore other interests along with broadening your knowledge in other areas besides your major, so you can study other things as well. Our faculty is devoted to foster curiosity, and they really want you to graduate, and they work hard with you. We're a teaching school, not a big research school. Their job is to teach, and they're here because they want to teach, and they want to be here for you to learn. Westminster is a private, independent liberal arts college. So we have 2,215 students. Our average class size is 15, but we do cap it at 25. So you'll have no more than 25 students in your classes. We're a close-knit community. Like I said, we're a teaching first institution. So you learn from your professors, but our classrooms are also set up so they're discussion based. And so you learn from each other as well. And then 48% of our students are from out of state. That's about half of our students. We offer the same tuition, scholarships, and need-based aids to in-state and out-of-state students. So we have 50 plus undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and 5 schools. We have arts and sciences, School of Business, School of Education, School of Nursing, the School of Health Sciences, and the Honors College. And athletics, we're NCAA Division II in the Rocky Mountain Conference. We have 15 NCAA Division II sports teams, multiple club sports, and intramural sports as well. So there's always something for you to do here. And then I'm just going to briefly talk about our programs. I won't go over each one of them for lack of time. Legacy and McNair are first generation college student programs for success. We want you to succeed. There's a program for everyone. And if there is something different you want, you're also welcome to start another program or club. We have a great outdoor expedition. If you're interested in doing a semester outdoors on the road, we explore states nearby and learn through hands-on experience. We have the Great Salt Lake Institute, so we have the Great Salt Lake Bias, and then we have multiple internships and research opportunities. Residence and student life, this is the part that everyone's always the most excited about. So we have a 2-year housing requirement. We want to build a community for all of our students, and we want them all to have a sense of belonging. And studies have shown that students who live on campus are more likely to succeed in college, and that's why we have the requirement. When I was at Westminster, living on campus was probably my favorite part of the whole experience. The classes were great as well, but that's where you really meet your friends and really one of the best parts of college. So there's two different types of housing, traditional style or apartment style. Traditional style is the one you see in the picture. It's 2 beds and 2 desks, and you have a roommate, and then you share a bathroom with your floor. Or apartment style. Apartment style has a kitchen and a living room that you share with 5 people, and then on each side there's 3 bedrooms. So you share in a bathroom. So you share a bathroom with 2 people. You have your own room, but you share a living room and a kitchen with 5. We also have the campus patrol. It's 24 hours. They're always on campus, making sure everything's safe. They're happy to walk you home as well. If you'd like them to walk you home at night, they're always available for you to call. Our ASW, Associated Students of Westminster, is our student council. They're happy to hear from you, and they would love for you to be involved as well. And then Westminster is known for community service. We had 100,000 hours of community service last year with our students. And then, like I said, we have clubs, intramural programs. There's a lot of stuff to do on campus. Student support services. We want our students to succeed, and we care about your well-being. So we have a variety of places. Here's some of them. Civil engagement, a veteran center with ROTC, diversity of inclusion center, counseling, health and wellness, writing. We have different religions, testing centers, the library is great, disability learning communities. There's multiple student support services because we do want you to succeed at Westminster. Paying for college. This is a part that's a little scary for everyone, but let's break it down for you so you can see what it's like. So there's a number of ways to receive aid. First off, we do a holistic review of your application. That means we look at the whole thing. So it's not just GPA, not just test scores. We look at your extracurricular activities, your rigor, how hard the classes you are taking, letters of recommendation if you have them, and we're test optional as well. And so like was stated in some of the other colleges, you don't have to use your ACT or SAT scores if you don't want to. You're also welcome to write an essay, and we would do that with your GPA as well. Each student is offered a scholarship when they're accepted to Westminster. Plus, we also offer need-based grants based off your FAFSA, and then there's talent-based scholarships as well, which is performing arts and athletics. We're able to do that. Applying to Westminster. So we have free applications. There's 2 different kinds that you can do. One's on the common application. One is on our website. The requirements are your submitted application, which is free, your high school transcript, and then once again, your ACT or SAT score or personal essay if you choose to go test optional. Our priority deadline is December 1st, but we're rolling admissions, so we accept applications as they come in. And let me just give you my contact information because I can see we're almost out of time. You can contact anyone on our team. It's admission@westminstercollege.edu, and we have a team of admissions counselors that are happy to help you. Thank you for your time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Westminster College, and thank you to all of our university representatives here today. We have a few minutes yet, so I want to move on to the Q&A portion. So I'm going to ask all of our representatives to go ahead and turn on their videos. I'm going to share my screen real quick and kick off our Q&A portion with a question that's super important for everyone who's watching here today, and that is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So we're going to go ahead and start back at the top of the order with Alaska Pacific University.
Yeah, really simple, might sound more simple than it actually is to put in practice, but I would say take it slow, take it one step at a time. It's really easy to get overwhelmed with all these things that you have to do and your to-do list and checking things off, but just take it one step at a time. Stay in touch with your admissions counselor and they can help tell you which step is most important at which time. But that way it just kind of avoids getting too stressed out and just focusing on one small task, and then helps kind of knock down that list. So that's fun.
Great advice. Thank you. DigiPen Institution of Technology, what's your advice?
Yeah, so I would actually piggyback on that and say, slow down, take your time, but then look for the opportunity. The schools that you're interested in, look at what they have to offer as a way for you to get to know them better. So whether it's online sessions, whether it's going to visit in person for a tour, whether it's talking to an existing student to see what their perspective of the school is. But make your list. What are your questions? What are your concerns of each of the places that you're interested in? And don't stop till you have those questions answered and you feel comfortable with what you're looking at. That would be mine.
I love it. Thank you. Seattle University, what's your best tip?
I know searching for colleges can be really overwhelming, similar to what has been said before, but figure out what's most important to you. You're going to have your family kind of try to give their advice. You have friends who are going through the same process, and it can get a little muddy. So sit down and figure out what's really important to you. And if that's as silly as the school colors, or you don't like mosquitoes, for example, then that's okay. That's something that's important to you. Hold on to that. And yeah, good luck in the process. You got this.
Fantastic. Thank you. University of Alaska Anchorage, what's your advice?
Yeah, so my advice would simply be to not write off any institution kind of out in the US, just simply because, say, for example, the sticker price. I know a lot of schools, especially private schools, tend to be, they seem higher priced, but there's tons of scholarships, whether for out of state, some out of state publics. I know we have some out of state private colleges also have tons of scholarships that help make it really affordable. I actually graduated from high school down in San Antonio, and I remember there's a big push to go to school in Texas, but there are a lot of opportunities outside of Texas as well, and it can be pretty affordable too.
Fantastic. Thank you. Weaver State University.
I will keep mine very fast. If you can make a campus visit, take a campus tour, go experience the campus and see if it feels right to you.
Okay, good advice. And we're going to let Westminster College go ahead and close out this question for us.
I would follow your heart. You know your values and find a school that's like your values. Your family may be pushing one thing, your friends may be going to another college, but deep down, you know the school that's the best fit for you. Do a campus tour, meet the people, talk to your admissions counselors, ask questions, and most of all, be excited and proud of yourself for looking for a college right now and having this opportunity.
Fantastic. Great advice from all of our experts here today. I want to thank everyone for joining us here and let you know that when you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd really appreciate any feedback that you can provide. As I shared at the beginning, just keep in mind that this is one of many sessions being hosted, so please make sure to sign up for additional sessions today and tomorrow. And then in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as the session recordings for all of the other events at strivescan.com/Texas. Thank you so much to our experts here, our university representatives, and to everyone who's joining us either live or catching the recording. Have a wonderful afternoon, evening, or whatever time it might be where you're joining us from. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.